Are you regretting transferring to homicide? I asked. He dragged his gaze away from the body and did his best to play it off, adopting a lopsided grin. Why? Aren't we having fun? But I knew my partner better than that. Try not to have too much fun or you might vomit on our Vic, and the rest of the department will never let you live it down. Fine. He glanced around. You got this, Liv? I nodded, and he straightened to his full height and sucked in a few shallow breaths. I'll check the roof. Waving Brad off, I turned my attention back to the body. With gloved hands, I checked the security guard's ID. Ezra Sambari. His prints matched the photo ID. The Beretta he carried remained holstered. He didn't clear leather. From the looks of it, he didn't even try. Either Sambari had been caught off guard, or he trusted his attacker. Gently, I turned his head. The bullet entered roughly 3 inches behind Sambari's right ear. He never saw it coming. From what little remained of his face, I couldn't make out much, except a strong, clean-shaven jawline and a buzz cut. Sambari looked capable of taking down any opponent, which is why the killer didn't give him a chance to fight back. A pool of blood haloed around Sambari's head. He died before he hit the ground, the medical examiner said. Saying a silent prayer, I stepped away from the body. Ezra Sambari was our 5th victim in the last 4 weeks. Any idea what kind of gun the killer used? Looks like a 9mm. My gaze went to the broken window. CSU had already photographed everything before dusting for prints and collecting evidence. So Sambari wasn't killed by a sniper? No, DeMarco. The ME gestured to a few techs who zipped our Vic into a body bag and placed him on a gurney. Once I complete the autopsy, I'll let you know what else I find, but I don't expect any surprises. I watched the body get carted off before examining the hole in the wall left by the bullet. The bright red spatter turned my stomach, but I forced myself to focus. A crime scene tech had already removed the bullet lodged in the wall, and another one directed a laser pointer, indicating the likely trajectory from which it traveled. But since the bullet went through Sambari's skull before it impacted with the wall, it may not have traveled in a straight line. Crime scene markers and glass shards covered the floor and rug. The thief tracked broken glass through the apartment, which meant he used the window to enter. From what we gathered, the killer fired twice in rapid succession. The first bullet shattered the window, and the second shot, which he fired almost immediately afterward, went into our victim's skull. That's why the guard didn't have time to turn around or reach for his gun. Unless the killer shot out the window, waited for Sambari to check it out, turn around, and then entered and popped him. Without surveillance footage, I had to go with my gut. But my gut said it didn't matter. The results were the same, and given Sambari's holstered weapon and no attempts to call for help, our killer most likely fired twice in rapid succession. He's a professional, I muttered. Thief? I'd say so, one of the techs replied. Who else can crack a safe like that, exit out the front, and get away undetected?